I'm Janus Jaguar, and in this tutorial on this Sunday rainy night, I am going to show you how to make a gizmo, which is one of my favorite dinners to ever have. It is an Italian dish from at least the East Coast. I can't say exactly where. I just grew up in Philadelphia with it. Definitely at Philadelphia and pizzeria type restaurants. So I'm going to show you how to make this in two ways, both in an air fryer and in the oven. The main idea is broil. So that would be this guy right there, turn it all the way up to there. But personally, I like to turn off to 500 first, and then when I put it in, then I put in the broil. But that's just my personal thing. So first and foremost, let's go after the ingredients. So first we're going to need some pizza sauce. We're going to need the cheese. I found that mozzarella thick cut but low moisture really works the best. And then I like these particular three spices. And then here's the seasonings I like to use: the crushed red pepper, Italian seasoning, and garlic powder. And then we have an aluminum foil or tin foil, as you old heads like to call it, and a little dish, and then of course a bread knife. And so basically, and last and not least, this is a roll. Unfortunately, I am in the Midwest part of the United States, and all they have are these German and French rolls. I'm from the East Coast, and I'm used to these Italian rolls. It's terrible out here. There's something wrong with these people. Help me. Send me for help. In our first step, we're going to make a cut on the y-axis, and then we're going to make a cut on the x-axis. And then we're going to open up our roll just like this, and we're going to get our sauce ready, and we're going to slather on us some good old sauce. Not too thick, not too heavy. Stay tuned and you'll see just how what I mean. Oh, by the way, you could also, optional step, add some garlic to the roll itself here, and it's mwah. Alright, so after we have sauced this up, the thickness of your sauce may vary, so keep in mind that, so your may not always look like this. Also, pro tip, you should put some sauce over the edge. Remember, this is a 3D unit. It would help when making some crispy. So I prefer a little bit of a softer roll when at the end of the day when it's cooking. So keep that part in mind when you're making your recipe. So make things a little bit longer if you want to do crispier. Also, if you want to make it extra crispy in the air fryer, you can make the aluminum smaller, so the actual roll gets more cooked. And now we're going to add our garlic and crushed red pepper and Italian seasonings. You don't have to do it with the red pepper. It's normally not done with that. It's just a little kick I discovered thanks to my Mrs. Jaguar. And I also been experimenting, so the garlic is definitely a plus either way. The Italian seasoning is just, I found it's an extra add-on. And so now we're going to throw it in the air fryer. Additionally, you could also throw it into the oven for a little bit too to warm up. I would say maybe about 5 or 10-ish, maybe I don't know, maybe about 5 minutes in the oven, and then take it out, and then you add the cheese, and then in the air fryer, it'll have the instructions like put it in there while it's warming up, and then when it wants you to add the food, that's when you add the cheese, and then you let it cook. And so the next step, we'll get there as we get there. This is my my air fryer setting. Equally, let's go check out the stove setting if I was doing it again. And so you would do it on broil just like this. Alright, the preheat session in the air fryer is done, or about the 5 to 7 minute mark, depending how crispy you want your bread at the end of the day, because it's kind of like a toasty situation. And now we will add the cheese that we see fit. Alright, so you do have a few minute window to actually do this in the air fryer, because obviously it's the heat up thing. Obviously with the oven you wouldn't, even if you turned it off, it wouldn't really matter if you turned it back on, because you still got like 5 to 10 minutes before it would cool down anyway. So we're just going to throw this in the air fryer. Be careful how much mozzarella you put on it, because it will melt over, and we don't want a Niagara Falls. Alright, let's take our Gizmo out of the oven slash air fryer. This is how we know it's done. There can be a little bit of crispy golden brown, as you can see right there. Looks like I put on pretty much the perfect amount of cheese. That looks delicious. This will take about 10 or 15 minutes in the oven. You would have to keep a close eye on that depending on how you want to do everything, because the cheese may not melt as fast as the raw crisps at toast rather at the end of the day. So at this point, I like to use the ends of the tin foil to point it out of the air fryer. And then I like to roll it together, essentially, then creating the sandwich by taking the two ends of the tin foil and pulling them together. This rolling it together will also make it the sandwich. Will also allow you to remove the tin foil. At this point, if the roll is too crispy for you, what you can do is take one of these lids for your pots and put it over it. The steam will actually re-moisturize it and make it softer. Pretty cool, huh? And dig in. Mozzarella deliciousness, man.